I am always going to be the first person to say what I don't like about things. So I can always be the first person to say what I like about things. It's only fair. These maps get pretty complicated to piece out what you're actually looking for with all the map icons. This game has a very interesting mechanic. So this right here, missile tank acquired. Same icon as missile tank, however it's only slightly grayed out. If you want to find items, I'm over here like, okay, so I've got the Morphball, I'm able to go and get the missile tanks here. There's a couple missile tanks I can get. Okay, so, you know, where are they? Okay, that's not one, that's not... You can do this. Push Y on an item, and then zoom out. If you push Y on a missile tank, it will show you all the missile tanks you have seen. A gray border is when you've gotten, a yellow border is when you have not gotten. You can do the same thing for like stations and all that. It'll show you stations you have or haven't used. Or, no, I guess they just highlight no matter what you do. You can do the same thing for, like, the central units, anything. Item spheres. It's a cool feature. And of course, because we don't have the Varia suit, heat also damages you. I'm gonna just stand here. More or less to unlock it as a map name, because I was getting annoyed with it not telling me what it was. This thing up here, this is a shutter. And it's more or less like a one-way, or you need to hit it from the other side, or unlock it, or... So you need the missile, this block, and then hit it to open the broken door, which then, in turn, lets you go through and get it. This thing is a geothermal control core thingy. I think they should call it a thermal flow control port or some stuff like that. I don't remember. But more or less, it turns off, or this one specifically turns on the closed doors. So the one in the net, or nope, never mind. So it turns them on, it's weird. Sometimes they'll turn... They basically flip-flop it sometimes. So if there's one that's on, it'll turn it off. If there's one that's off, it'll turn it on. But they have to be connected with this pipe.
Uploading data.
There was no record of your assailant in the Federation database. However, there are records of a chosen warrior tribe. There is a strong possibility the two are connected. You have seen the warrior tribe's architecture and artifacts on this planet. I conclude that this was one of their settlements. But why would someone lead you here and send the enemy after you? The footage of the X-Parasite may have been staged to lure you in. The situation remains unclear, but your priority hasn't changed. You must return to the ship. You have activated the magma supply system that has restored power to the closed thermal doors. Seek them out to proceed. Continue to search for the unique 6 remaining enemy hunting you. You have no means to confront them. Remember that.
Okay, so yeah, just activating that opens all the thermal doors in this area. Okay. There's my next goal. I'll stand on this just to unlock it. Yeah, this is a full recharge. Yeah, if you can't tell where these go, just follow the tube. Anyway, that clicking sound you hear, it's like a chirping sound off in the distance. That means the enemy is nearby. I don't really... Yeah, okay, you have to stand on this. Okay, just take me anywhere. Okay, that just breaks open the one-way door. Oh. So anyway, this control core is not dead. This control core is alive. So how you beat these control cores is you just whack them with missiles. There are 2 attacks in this that he can employ against you. He's got a turret, and he's got Rinkas. Rinkas are the SpaghettiOs, which causes me to draw the comparison between these and Mother Brain. Because, you know, these are brains and they use turrets and Rinkas. Mother Brain was a brain and they use Rinkas and turrets. Anyway, another cannon. However, you get the stream this time. So, these plates cannot be destroyed with the cannon. You have to instead overheat them by repeatedly hitting something with this type of shot. And then, once the core is exposed, destroy it. Not only do these exit doors for this area work, the enemies work that way now too. So, you normally want to find like a nice straight path that you can kite them in, shoot them from a distance to knock their faceplate off. Once their faceplate's broken, they'll do a little animation to give you some time, and they'll stand up. Once they're stood up, you can hit them in the head. There are a few of them that you won't have time to do that for, though. So you will have to move around and get them. Anyway, the spider magnet. Allows Samus to attach to blue magnetic surface walls and ceilings using a magnetic field. Tilt the left stick in the direction of certain walls and ceilings to grab on. Samus can move and attack while in this state. Hold up to attach to the ceiling. Or hold up, Hold up while attached to a ceiling to press against it. Once you've defeated the enemy, the area returns to normal, so it's green now, and regular enemies start to appear here once you leave. So this is what the spider magnet does. It basically just lets you climb up walls. So what you always want to do once you get a power is it's always a nice idea to look at the map and see if there's something you could do now. Just be like, oh, like, is there anything I could do now? You then are able to see, like, oh, over here, there's an enemy door at the top of you know, a blue wall. That door's not able to be opened with it's not able to be opened with charge beam. That just is a locked door to force you to go this way. Oh, is this a worm or is this... No, they're needle birds. Anyway, so there's this weird thing. Can't really do anything against it. Get close to it and counter it. This is basically a boss door. So, he's kind of weird. His head, he'll angle it high, he'll angle it low, and you just want to hit his head. His tail, you can't actually see it because he's invisible. He'll turn invisible from time to time, basically making him harder to see. His tail, he has two attacks. He'll curl it, like next to him, which means he'll swipe at you. When he swipes, you want to jump. When he thrusts it, you want to basically get close to him so you're inside the little gap. A lot of bosses in this game have this annoying thing. So yeah, see, he angled his tail up, which means he was thrusting it. Oh, I don't have missiles. You can hit him when he's invisible. However, it's harder to. Oh, he was oh no, he's doing this. Yeah, a lot of bosses in this game have, if you counter their attack properly, you can just beat them up for high damage, but I did a terrible job explaining him. He's basically, he's your tutorial on how to understand a boss's movements. Because a lot of bosses in this game have things like that, where it's like, oh, his tail's curling, that means he's going to swing it. He's rearing it back, that means he's going to thrust it. There's not a lot of, like, Ridley from Metroid Prime, where he's like, okay, you know, he's flying away, that means he's going to be shooting missiles. No, it's a lot of, like, oh, his nail's curling, that means he's going to do this. Anyway, Phantom Cloak. Aeon ability that renders Samus invisible to enemies by refracting light. She can also move silently, albeit at a slower speed. With full Aeon, press in the right stick to activate, press it again to deactivate. Aeon will slowly be consumed while this ability is active. Moving or firing weapons while activated will consume additional Aeon. Once all Aeon's been depleted, the Phantom Cloak will consume energy instead. Should it deplete energy to 1, it automatically depletes. So, yep, you can turn invisible. You move quite a bit slower, but you are quiet, and firing takes a lot of energy. But then it starts to drain health. You get infinite shots if you're invisible, but it's kind of weird. Anyway, as I said, Aeon recharges, and that's how you go through these doors. So once again, you always want to, look here and see, like, oh, where's an area I couldn't go to before? You learn that it's over here. Anyway, stepping on the purple one lets you go to the next area. This one lets you go to Cataris, or Cataris.
Uploading data.
GBR appears to be powered by thermal energy. Magma is pumped from the planet's interior and routed from there. I have located the central routing system for the magma. It is here in Cataris. Samus, your current suit cannot protect you as you explore Cataris. The extreme heat of the lava is too much for it. Under no circumstances should you enter high temperature areas. I note a shuttle somewhere above here. Use it to find a path forward. There is one other thing to discuss. It is your new Phantom Cloak ability. The Phantom Cloak prevents the enemy from detecting you. Thus far, your only option was to run. Now, bypassing them is also an option. Use this to reach your objective. Note that using the Phantom Cloak severely decreases your mobility, and direct contact with an enemy will still result in capture. It is up to you whether to hold your position. Just be aware of your surroundings. The Phantom Cloak is useless. Once an enemy sees you, you will need to evade capture until it gives up pursuit. The Phantom Cloak can remain active after your aim has been depleted. It will consume your life energy instead. Consider it a desperate measure. Remember, it cannot drain your energy down to nothing. Judicious use of this technique will improve your probability of survival.
More or less, he's saying what I always say in video games with resources. Don't be afraid to use it if you need it. Do not be afraid to use resources you have if you have them, and if you need them. You can you can always get your missiles back. You can always get your energy back. You can always get the Aeon back. A game over does not let you do any of that. So anyway, it closes this door off, which is what I was talking about earlier, where it opens one and closes the other. It opens one, closes the other, which is nice. These robots are... they're kind of annoying, but also not at the same time. Once you know how to beat them, they're kind of a joke. How they work is they'll move back and forth until they get near you, and then when they get near you, they'll do like a little pump attack, like a little just shockwave, piston pump, whatever you want to call it. Realize that probably doesn't sound the greatest. Oh, he does a pump attack. Ugh. Whatever. Mine's out of the gutters. Once he charges up for the little like shockwave attack, you want to that's when you want to counterattack him. Oh yeah, these things are infinite enemy spawners. Oh, this just is a hot room. Nice little way to teach you, one, about how the AR cloak works, and two, that the enemies from now on can go into morph tunnels. They can go into the small tunnels. Oh, can't do anything with that until you activate this. Yeah, just a lot of basic just movements here. Anyway, one of the main things of this area is this thing. is like a weird, like, I don't know what you would call this thing. Anyway, it deactivates a number of hot areas. It activates some areas, it deactivates some others. It's nice. Basically deactivates some, it deactivates hot areas, it activates these weird, like, elevator type things. Yeah, you have to be somewhat quick with him, or with the enemies. You got to be able to. Actually, I think that's the first time I've ever legitimately used the Phantom Cloak on, like, against an enemy. I don't use them. It is, like, it's not useless to me, but it's, I always think about using it too late. Are you superheated? Yes. I like to go into the superheated areas just for a split second, just to unlock, basically, like, the map data for it. Okay, you die. I'm getting annoyed with you. Oh, network station.
Uploading data.
ME stands for Extraplanetary Multiform Mobile Identifier. It can procedurally modify and enhance its own capabilities. Its ability to configure itself to fit into narrow spaces is a standard feature. Any ME you encounter will likely do so as it pursues you. You are not capable of destroying their armor plating. This would be true even at your full capabilities. You are faced with overwhelming power. Accept your helplessness. Study each ME carefully and use the Phantom Cloak to advance. There are risks even here. The Phantom Cloak reduces your mobility and consumes more AN when you move or shoot. It is still your best chance at survival. Do not hesitate to destroy an enemy whenever you discover more. You need energy. This was not one of your original priorities. However, I see no other way to accomplish your goal. These existential threats cannot be sanctioned.
Well, I believe it's a little bit soon, but I believe I'm going to end this part off here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.